Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're taking a deep dive into an absolute masterclass of Northern and Northeastern Thai flavors. We are breaking down exactly how to make a truly delicious, unapologetically spicy Thai eggplant dip, also known as Tam Ma-khuea or soup Ma-khuea. If you love dishes that just explode with savory, umami-rich depth and hit you with that perfect fiery kick, well, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to explore how to build this complex flavor profile right in your own kitchen, using a genius stovetop hack that will literally change how you prep ingredients. Okay, let's dive into this. So, here's the classic home cook's dilemma. How do you get that perfect roasted flavor indoors without a grill? Authentic Thai dips heavily rely on fire-roasted ingredients. They absolutely need that smoky, sweet, charred depth. But let's be real, if you're cooking inside an apartment or you just don't have the time to fire up a charcoal grill, getting that complex charred flavor can feel nearly impossible. You usually just end up with veggies that are burnt on the outside and totally raw and sharp on the inside. Well, the source material we're looking at today offers a brilliant, incredibly simple kitchen hack to solve this exact problem. But before we get to that technique, we need to gather our building blocks.
Section 1. The Ultimate Thai Dip, Building the Aromatic Base.
Any incredible Thai dip relies on an unshakable aromatic foundation. And I've got to say, this recipe does not hold back. We're looking at equal parts allium power here, exactly 10 whole shallots and 10 large Chinese garlic cloves. These are going to provide all that deep, savory, sweet goodness once they're cooked down. And then for that signature punch, we have the chilies. This trio right here, it's the absolute heart of the dish. Without this solid foundation, the dip simply falls flat. Yes, you heard that right. That is 12 red ginger chilies for a single bowl of dip. For those of you who might be unfamiliar, ginger chilies pack a serious, fiery punch. Using a full dozen is going to give you this brightly spiced, totally sweat-inducing heat that just cuts beautifully right through the richness of the other ingredients. But hey, don't let this massive number intimidate you. The absolute beauty of making this at home is that the spice level is completely adjustable. If 12 sounds like a 5-alarm fire to your palate, no worries, just dial it back to 3 or 4. The cooking technique remains exactly the same.
Section 2. The Water Roasting Secret. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it fundamentally changes our approach to indoor cooking. Think about this comparison for a second. Usually when we toss garlic and chilies into a dry pan, the dry heat just scorches those delicate skins almost instantly, right? You get this bitter burn, but the inside stays completely hard and raw. It's the worst. But the brilliant hack presented in our source is water roasting. Here's how it works. You put your shallots, garlic, and chilies into a pan over medium heat, and you add just a tiny splash of water. What happens next is basically magic. The water creates steam, which rapidly cooks and softens the dense insides of the shallots and garlic. As you keep stirring, that water entirely evaporates. And once the pan is dry again, those now softened vegetables start to catch on the hot metal, developing this beautiful, fragrant, slightly blackened char. It is a total game changer, a true pro hack for getting perfectly soft, sweet, and smoky aromatics indoors without ever touching a grill.
Section 3. Prepping the eggplants. So, we've got our aromatics handled. Now we turn to the star of the show. For this recipe, we're using 8 whole Thai eggplants. You know, those round, golf ball-sized green and white ones. The instruction here is beautifully simple but absolutely critical. You just boil them in a pot of water until they are completely soft and tender. Seriously, patience is your best friend right here. If you pull them out while they still have a firm bite to them, your dip is going to be chunky and rigid, and nobody wants that. You want to boil them until they are incredibly yielding and soft. Achieving that luscious, perfectly mashable texture is crucial for the final consistency of the dish. Section 4. Smashing and seasoning. Let's move to and see how this builds when we bring out the mortar and pestle. There is a very specific, logical progression to constructing this dip. Step 1. You absolutely must pound your water-roasted chilies, garlic, and shallots together first until they're finely crushed. You really want to release all those incredible essential oils. Only after the aromatics have turned into a fine paste do you move to step 2, which is adding in those soft boiled eggplants. You take your pestle and just gently mash and smash them right into the aromatic paste until everything is beautifully seamlessly combined. Then comes step 3, adding the liquid seasonings, which we'll take a closer look at in just a second. And finally, step 4, you gently fold in some chopped cilantro and spring onions. This brings a fantastic hit of fresh, bright, herbal contrast, that rich, earthy mash. Now, let's talk about the absolute key to step 3,
Pla Ra. If you want this dip to taste authentic, Pla Ra is totally non-negotiable. So what is it? It's a seasoned fermented fish sauce. It's much thicker, more opaque, and infinitely more pungent and savory than your standard clear fish sauce. Just think of it as the ultimate umami flavor bomb. It provides this funky, earthy depth that literally anchors the entire dish. Now, I know it might sound a little intimidating if you haven't cooked with it before, but trust me, in the context of this dip, it completely transforms that mashed eggplant into something incredibly rich and downright addictive.
Here is the exact seasoning ratio you need to lock in that perfect flavor. To your mashed eggplant and aromatics, you're going to add just half a tablespoon of standard fish sauce and a generous 3 tablespoons of that seasoned Pla Ra. Now, the source notes that you can absolutely add a pinch of MSG at this stage if you like. But keep in mind, a lot of bottled, seasoned Pla Ra brands actually already contain MSG, so adding extra is purely up to your personal preference for hitting that perfect savory note. Mix all that together, toss in your handful of fresh cilantro and spring onions, and boom, your dip is complete.
Section 5. The perfect gooey pairing. So the crucial point is, how do we elevate this giant flavorful bowl of dip into a complete, unforgettable sensory experience?
The answer is Kai Tom Yang Matum. You absolutely must pair this spicy, earthy dip with medium soft-boiled eggs. And we are talking about eggs where the whites are perfectly set, but the yolks are just ridiculously runny, thick, and gooey. I mean, picture this. Imagine taking a fresh, crisp vegetable, scooping up a hearty portion of that spicy, garlicky, umami-rich eggplant mash, and dragging it right through a warm, rich, flowing egg yolk. The rich fat of the yolk beautifully coats your palate and perfectly mellows out the fiery heat of those 12 ginger chilies.
To summarize, the ultimate sensory experience of this dish, it is, quote, spicy, savory, and perfectly balanced with a runny egg yolk. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly why these bold, contrasting flavors and textures work so flawlessly together. Authentic Thai cuisine is all about this aggressive contrast. You have the soft, earthy eggplant, the sharp, fiery bite of the roasted aromatics, the deep, salty funk of the Pla Ra, and of course, the soothing, creamy richness of that egg yolk. Every single bite is dynamic, and it's just flawlessly balanced. By utilizing that amazingly simple water roasting hack, you can completely bypass the need for an outdoor grill. You can unlock these incredibly deep, complex, authentic flavors right on your stovetop in just a matter of minutes. You've got your aromatic foundation, you've got the umami secret of the Pla Ra, and you've got the absolutely perfect gooey egg pairing. So, the only question left for you is, what will you dip into this fiery umami masterpiece first? Are you going for crisp cabbage, maybe some long beans, or are you just going to go straight in with that soft-boiled egg? The choice is yours. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and hey, happy cooking!